Yeah, hi traders, welcome to the week ahead. As you know, all information in this video is for educational purposes only. We don't give financial advice. By watching the video, you accept full responsibility for your actions, your trades, your profit and loss results, and agree not to hold the distributors of this video series liable for any of the information shared. Alrighty, that out of the way, let's get right into the charts. As always, we'll start with the Aussie pairs. There's not a lot going on at the moment. We're at key inflection levels again with the Aussie and Aussie CAD. This is where price was reacting before. So if the Aussie CAD is going to go higher, it just makes perfect common sense for me that we need to have a break at this level. And then after the break of this level, I would want to see a retest, and then I'd be more confident in taking it forward, because we could just get a fakie just here. So watching this pair, and I think a lot of it will hinge on the Aussie US dollar. If we see the Aussie starting to strengthen against a weaker US dollar, then we could get some trades from here. Aussie Swissy, key inflection point again, and we talked about this last week. We wanted to see a break above or a break below, and it's come down, started to move, and it's just retesting again right in here. So right now again, this is a key level at 62, and unless it gets above here, I'm not that confident that we're going to get a massive move up, despite what you see on some of the YouTube stuff that's around and so-called experts, educationalists. Don't get drawn into headlines going 2,000 move on the Aussie Swissy. There's no carry trade potential here right now. It's just hype to get you trapped to buy some more product. Aussie JPY. And again, at key levels, and it's just really simple stuff trading. It's not hard. This is a key level here, and you'll find it's around a big number, 69. And until we get above here, there's nothing here to get too excited about. Depending on how the market travels this week and what it does, you know, we need to, if we're going to go higher, we need to see a break above here, and then I would prefer to have a retest, a bit like the Aussie CAD and Aussie Swiss. We come to the Aussie New Zealand. Now last week I did get into a trade, and it hasn't gone anywhere, and that's fine. Here was the key level here at around 105.46. And last week it's just trickled up, and on Friday it pulled back. I'm just sitting just above break even on it, but it's a slow boat to China. So if this comes down and retests off this level, then maybe I might get some traction on it. But I've got my stop loss sitting just underneath this level here, and if it comes back in, it will take me out of the trade. It'll be a small loss. Aussie USD. Never be afraid to lose money. Just make sure that you're not losing heaps, and that you're losing small and winning big. Okay, this here, we're at a key inflection point again. If we come in here, we're probably at around about 64. Yeah. So it's really it's not showing too much signs of going anywhere. It popped up against this key level. Let's just take a look at the weekly quickly here. Let me have some idea what I can see. Yeah. Yeah, it's just there's not a lot to talk about here. We have had a bit of a move up from the lows earlier in the year. We got down to 55, but that doesn't mean to say we're going to have a sudden move up. So these levels here, the next number that interests me is this area of 64, and then you've got 65 sitting just up in here. So I kind of feel that it's going to be more of the same, just sideways at the moment. I'll be keeping an eye on the US dollar to see what happens there. CAD Swiss, I did get into a trade there, and again it's a bit like the Aussie Z. He hasn't gone anywhere. There was my entry. I was just looking for this to take out the high here. It hasn't. It is a slow mover, and we're currently sitting a couple of pips up. And if this thing is really going to get going, then we should see a bit of a move up this week. Otherwise, it will be a loss trade. And I'm not unhappy about that at all, because the loss will be small again. And I just don't think, I think this level here is the key. And I was having a look at these charts over the weekend. So there's 7. And what happens with most traders is that we don't take too much notice of the big picture and the range. And you can see here that this has sort of been range bound for quite some time, really. And you could put a line just in here where price has reacted before. And it's when you're in this stuff here, it's very, very hard to trade. And this is where traders get beaten up. So even if we get a break of 69, you've still got this to take out here. And it's not a lot of pips. I think it's about 100 pips to here. It's 57. So in my way of thinking, if we got a break of this level, then it came back and did a retest, I would have a go for this. But the entry, I've got the entry in here. So hopefully, if this can get going, do a retest, and it may begin to move up. But we'll just have to wait and see. A lot will hang around, will depend on what OPEC's doing and Russia's doing in regards to all the fighting that's going on around the place in terms of the oil. And oil did sort of strengthen a little bit. But nothing to get too excited about. So we just have to wait for the market to see what it's going to do. And I just think that this level in here is more the level that I'm interested in on the CAD JPY 77. We're at 76,799 right now. And it looks like this could end up being some sort of a range in here. And until we see the Canadian dollar, we've got not a lot of data out on the economic calendar that's high impacting this week. So it's a little bit light. So I'm not expecting too much action. Swiss Japan we're not worrying about. Euro AUD, well, we've had exceptional trades off that. And we're at this key inflection point of 1.7. And these are the key. This is the key level. I've still got a pending order sitting under here. I'm out of all these trades from down in here and from off here. And now it's just wait. It's a waiting game. Euro, Canadian dollar. It's really interesting. This seems to be the key level here at round about 152. And I'm just having a look here. You start to get up near historical highs up here. I'm just not sure where this can go, but nothing to write home about. So it's looking like there's the range just in there at the moment. Even if we got a break above this level, I'm a little wary because of all of this in here. And if we got a break above this level, I'd need to see some real strength in the euro, and I just can't see that happening. I'm more interested in a break of the support area rather than the resistance. So it's just, again, patience and keeping an eye on it. Nothing on the euro Swissy. You know, it's just in no man's land right now, and it's been in a massive downtrend, and we are at a key inflection point again, and the big question is, can we bounce off here? But we'd have to see some strength in the euro. Swissy is still reasonably strong at the moment, so there's just no trade here at the moment. I would need to see an engulfing candle, and I'd be looking at a trend line breakthrough here. I want to get long on this. Been wanting to get long on this for months, but it's just kept going down, and that's what I mean. The market always tells you what it's going to do. So we've got 150. Yeah, 150 here. That's the key level. If this holds, we'll wait and see what happens. The next one's going to be sort of kind of in there. It's 105, but 106 is up in here. Yeah, I would not be happy to have it go at this until I get it close above 106. Euro pound, it's at this inflection point. We talked about it last week, but still nothing. It's been all week, pretty much just going sideways. And we need to just wait and see what happens here. Euro pound, it's tricky right now. But if I got a break below here, I definitely will take a look at it and see if I can get lower. There's nothing on the Euro JPY either at the moment. The key level, obviously, here, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, is just in there. Not sure which way this is going to go. The euro, I believe, is actually going to weaken in the mid to long term. But even to make a statement like that, we have to wait and see what the market's going to do, because even the fundamentals are really tricky to gauge right now. Euro NZ. Now, this is one that I'm watching with interest. This is the key level, and on Friday we finished with a really nice candle formation, if you like candle formations. So 180 is the key level here, and if we get moved down and we begin to take this level out here, and the New Zealand US dollar is continuing to move up against the US dollar, I'm quite interested in the potential of this. But like the euro, I see the market's just open. The euro AUD, I would love to get a move here. Doesn't mean to say we will, but that's one to watch this week. Euro USD. Again, it looks like we're going to get a range forming in here, and it looks like that's around about 110 is its limit. So we could just get more stuff coming like this. So unless I get a break of 108, I'm not really interested in taking this down. Now, Frankfurt London Open, that's a little different. We're getting a bit of traction in the Frankfurt Open and the opening candle, and been picking up a few good pips. But on a daily chart, when you're looking at the big picture, it looks like we're in for some more range-bound stuff. Now, let's get through the pound pairs. Pound AUD. You know, I talked about this last week, and I was looking for a break below here, didn't get it. It did move up early in the week, and then it's just trickled on back down the last few days. So this is the key area. I like the fact that we've got a double top up here. You could say a triple top perhaps, but these are very skinny moves up, and when I see this starts to make me think that it's getting ready to move down. This was the trade that we took a couple of weeks ago, and this is the key area of support. It must break through this if it's to come lower. So that's on my watch list. Pound Swissy, not a lot going on, just going sideways again. And you've got to bear in mind and remember too that these pairs, they don't trend all the time. They're not good trades all the time. And you have to sit and wait and be patient, and especially in times like we're seeing in the market at the moment. Just in there. So I am interested in taking this north. But if the market decides it wants to come low again, I'm happy. But it's got to be a break outside this range. Pound Caddy, it's been a little bit fickle as well, all of these pairs here, but it looks like that, I mean, there, maybe. To me, that was just there's just nothing that really gets me too excited. I think we're just in for some more of the same till the Aussie dollar gets sorted. Sorry, the Canadian dollar gets sorted out here. I don't want to trade it in this range. This is where traders get beaten up. You can go down to smaller time frames and do that, but it doesn't do anything for me. And pound JPY is the same. It looks like it's just heading. So just put your levels in and be patient and wait. You know, it's not hard. Alrighty, pound ZD. I am interested in this, and I had a little fling on it on Friday. I didn't make too much on it, chose to get out. But I'm looking for this level here to be taken out. And on Thursday we finished with, or actually on Friday we finished with this nice potential evening star kind of formation. But it just has to take this level out here. I'm not going to be tempted to trade it until I get a breaker here. Pound USD, just more of the same. Having good success with this with the Frankfurt and London Open, and I'll continue to trade it that way. But you know, until it breaks out of these ranges, I'm not really too keen on getting too excited about a long-term move. If we see the US dollar weakening, then we could get something substantial going north. There's nothing on the New Zealand CAD. Just a lot of indecision, and again, just mark your levels in here and be patient and wait. I'm sorry it's not too exciting, but I'm not going to make pretend there's a potential trade on when it's not, you know. And those are the key levels. It really needs to get clear, and then you'll get a move. And New Zealand Swiss, I was eyeing this up last week, but I'm just so glad I never took it. You know, for me, this is kind of like the range in here. Now, you know, you could argue the point and say that the range is up here. But let's try and be realistic. And for me, there's got to be a break higher than 59. You know, if it breaks this level of support again, we could get this sort of stuff. So we'll just need to wait for the market to decide what it's doing. Last week got a little bit of a trade on here, but got out and put the few nickels and dimes in the bank. This seems to be, looks like we're going to get some sort of range bound stuff going on here. And again, you know, until it breaks 65, takes this high out, I wouldn't have any confidence in it moving up. I'm just staying out of it again. New Zealand USD. That's been very kind to me over the last couple of weeks. And as we pointed out last week, this is the key levels. You know, if it comes up here, retest this level here at 60500, we could see another move down. or if we get up and we take this high out, and that's my plan. If we come up in here, take a high out, I'm going to wait for a retest and get in just in here. So, you know, that's sort of like the buy zone and around here, and in here is the sell zone. USD caddy, that ran out of steam. This level here is key for me, and if we get major weakness in the US dollar, you could see this come on down. You know, so one pull back and then a move down, but the conditions have to be right. USD Swissy, you know, again, it looks there's just nothing in here. And things can change in the market very, very quickly, so you just got to be ready for it. So again, you know, you just mark your levels, and if I was trying to trade this north, what I would look for is I would want a break and a retest, and that's the move there that I would take. That's how I would play this. If it comes lower, I don't mind at all. I'd love it to get down here. US JPY. If we start to see significant weakness in the US dollar, I think this has potential. And this will be like my temperature gauge. I get a break below this area here at 107. We can just pop that up there. There's 107 there. I would be interested in taking it south. I'm not overly confident in taking it north right now. There's the first obstacle there at 108, and then it's got to break 109. But I just got a feeling in my bones and what I see in market structure that we might be getting ready for some weakness in the US dollar. That's a big picture. You see it's been able to get up to 112 a couple of times, and then it just gives out. It's got down into here. In terms of a move south, this looks like to be, you know, it's just below 106, so probably 105.50. If we get another break of 107, I'd dip my toe in the water just with a couple of little small lot sizes, wait for a pullback, and then if it pushed past through 106, I'd definitely be on. Gold, that's a tricky one. We're up again here. We break down below 1700, but look, we didn't really get going. I had 1650 marked in the sand, but it didn't get anywhere near it. So, you know, you've got to watch your risk-reward ratios, because gold is, look at these big moves in the week. Boom, boom. You know, what's it going to do? Is it going to come all the way down here again, or is it just going to come here? And I want to trade it, and I'm trying to pick it. So for me, 1650 is key level. And if we, you know, I'd look for a chance to trade it off here, but being very, very wary, I'd have a very small risk-reward ratio, because this thing can just break 650 and come down and retest these areas here again. So be a little bit careful. I think silver is a little bit more stable, has lower risk-reward ratios, and offers a better, you know, that was what we looked at a week ago. It hasn't happened. We have had a little bit of a pullback. So if we get a turnaround at this level at $15 and we get an engulfing candle, I'll be looking to take an entry somewhere up where I might put that line in. Let's just go to the US dollar very quickly, and we'll change up in here. Have a look at the weekly chart on there. Not a lot's changed, you know. Like there's a key area there. at around 99. It's dropped down and gone back up, and got a spinning top forming here. And the gold market's not open at the moment, and neither is the US dollar index here. But if this begins to drop down here, you've got another level in here that was critical on the way up. And it's just at a point of indecision. There's a lot of money being chucked into the American economy by the Fed, and sooner or later the chickens have got to come home to roost. So I'm looking to see if it can get down in here, stay in this level, and then I'll be looking for a break below it. And that's when I become very interested in the New Zealand USD going north, Aussie USD going north, USD CAD, and the USD JPY going south. So there you have it, traders. I'm sorry that I'm not going to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. It's very much, like trading. You just have to wait for the market to show you what it's going to do. There are good trades out there. You just have to be patient and, again, stick to what you know that works. Stick to your technicals. And remember that not even the technicals are playing out like they normally do, that the way we've been used to in the past. So you've got to be able to think outside of your box. And for me, just support and resistance levels are still pretty critical. And good risk-reward ratios. If you've got to take a big risk, keep your lot size down. If you're risking 100 pips, 1 to 2 ratios, I always try to work off that if I can get them. And I'm always not going to get greedy on my first position. I'm going to take it off at between 30 and 50 pips. So take care out of there. It's not an easy market to trade, but there is money to be made. And protect your capital, and take your profits when it's there. And I'll see you in the chat room. Cheers.